Think back to the last time you studied really hard for an exam. Maybe you stayed up late, crammed the night before, and walked into the test feeling like you had everything under control. But a week later, most of it was gone. Sound familiar? That's because most of what we call studying isn't really learning, and the definition of learning matters more than you might think. The way we define learning shapes the strategies we use. If we see learning as simply memorizing facts, we'll fall into habits like rereading or cramming, which don't last. But if we pause to ask, what is learning really about? Then smarter strategies naturally begin to emerge. We start to study better. I like to define it this way. Learning is acquiring knowledge and skills so that they can be easily accessed for future problem solving and opportunities. Let's break that down into 4 key parts. Firstly, learning always involves building either knowledge or skill. These overlap, but they aren't the same. Memorizing the chambers of the heart is knowledge. Learning how to take a cardiac history is a skill. Knowing which one you're building affects how you should practice. It changes the strategies that you'll use. Second, real learning is about the future. The information you take in today has to be stored in a way that you can actually apply tomorrow. If you can't retrieve it when you need it, say in the middle of a clinical scenario, it's not really learning, it's simply short-term storage. Third, stability. Knowledge that fades away in days or weeks isn't reliable enough for future problem solving. And stability doesn't just happen, you need the right techniques to make sure your learning lasts. We're often deceived about this. Finally, true learning lives in you. Yes, we all use tools, notes, or apps, but if you are completely dependent on them, you haven't really learned it. Knowledge and skills should feel like second nature, something you carry with you anywhere. Let's test this definition against a common strategy, cramming. Cramming feels effective in the moment. You stuff facts in your brain just before a test. But the evidence is clear. Crammed knowledge is unstable, poorly connected to other ideas, and so fades fast. You might pass the exam, but a week or a month later, it's like it never happened. And even if you recall fragments, they are vague, shallow, and hard to apply to real problems. That's not true learning. That's a short-term memory trick. By contrast, when you learn effectively, new knowledge becomes part of your mental models. It connects, it sticks, and it's ready when you need it. That's what allows you to approach complex problems with confidence, not just seeing the facts, but seeing the meaning and the solutions. And yes, this takes more than last-minute cramming. It takes smarter strategies. But once you see how powerful they are, you'll realize cramming was a false economy all along. So here's the takeaway. Learning is about preparing yourself for the future. Stable, usable, internal knowledge and skills. In the rest of this course, I'll show you the practical techniques that align with this definition. Tools that don't just help you pass a test, but help you become the kind of doctor who can face real challenges with confidence. Because that is what your learning should be about.